D-level tasks, absolutely no dangerous daily tasks. Most of them are life-related commissions, which consume physical strength and energy. The bounty won't be too high either. After 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the 7th shift was finished, and each of them received a reward of 200 taels. Not much. Naruto turned his head and was about to leave after getting it, but was stopped by Kakashi. Really? You've been lazy all the time, but you were active when you left. I haven't said to disband yet. Naruto, come back. Naruto, who was about to go to Ichiraku Ramen for a cool meal, just stopped. In hindsight, according to the usual practice, Kakashi seems to be a treat. That's fine. Naruto returned to the line and stood up, feeling the resentment of little Sakura immediately. Because of Naruto's mental effort, this hard-working girl did most of the work alone. Well, the environment here is just right. Kakashi came to a big tree, patted the trunk, and nodded in satisfaction. So I announced that the first Jonin teaching for the 7th class will begin here. You all learned chakra and 3-body technique in ninja school, right? The 3 nodded. Well, that's just the extraction and simple use of chakra, but what I'm going to teach you today is the advanced use of chakra. As Kakashi said, he walked up the tree trunk as if walking on level ground, parallel to the ground. Attach the chakra to the foot and balance the body, like I do. As he spoke, Kakashi had already walked up to the branch, but with his head down. In short, let's try to find the trick today. Kakashi glanced at Sasuke, then at Naruto. Use kunai to mark the height that I can reach. Within a week, whoever gets to my current position first between the two of you will reward you with a ninjutsu. Sasuke immediately gave Naruto a cold look, but he didn't say anything, but went to find a tree to climb by himself. Little Sakura, who was not named, was a little frustrated. Although I have been mentally prepared for a long time, I am the weakest one in the 7th class after all. But openly treated differently by the teacher. Don't worry, what you have to do now is to keep up with their progress. Geniuses in this world are a minority after all, just be yourself. Kakashi turned into a warm male teacher and comforted little Sakura. Little Sakura forced a smile, nodded, and went to practice with a tree that was closer to Sasuke. Compared with the rank, it has to be Kakashi. Naruto stood where he was. Kakashi turned his head away, and the 3 dead fish eyes looked at each other. Aren't you going to practice? I don't want to go. Why? Didn't you say it would be fine within a week? That's true. Then what do you want to do now? Go to bed. It's a little early. Didn't sleep well last night. The 2 salted fish were in a stalemate for a while, but it was Naruto who was superior. Isn't it? Kakashi also started to pick up fish after a long time after Minato died in battle. During this period, he earned roots from Anbu. After voluntarily surrendering after assassinating the 3rd generation, he returned to Anbu. After that, some time passed, until Jiraiya gave him an enlightenment textbook that can change a person's life. Kakashi started the road of salted fish, and Naruto. It has been in bad shape for 6 years with constant wind and rain. In terms of salted fish, Kakashi is lighter. Naruto silently came to sit under a tree. Looking at Sasuke who kept trying to walk up the tree, he remembered what happened in the morning. Assumption. If the 3rd generation finds out that he knows everything, then what will happen to him next? Surveillance. Unlikely. Kakashi will find out. The impact is not too good. With a high probability, I will give him another lesson on the will of fire. This is what 3rd generation aims to do well. Are you sure you don't want to try it? Kakashi suddenly appeared behind Naruto. Naruto turned his head to look, and moved his butt silently. The 2 salted fish then sat together, looking at the 2 Sakura who were working hard. When I practiced, I didn't like people watching. Naruto said casually, I've heard Guy mention this. Kakashi looked clear. I also heard from Iruka that you sleep in class every day because you practice until late at night. Is it true? Naruto glanced at Kakashi. What do you think? Well, I believed it before. Kakashi shrugged, but now, it doesn't matter. Kakashi stood up as he spoke, blocking Naruto's view. Far away, Sasuke who just fell looked over. His eyes turned cold, and he gritted his teeth. Take it easy, Naruto. No matter how much you walked ahead of me before, it can only be now. I will catch up with you soon. What are you doing? Naruto was puzzled. Although we haven't been together for a long time, how can I say? Kakashi scratched his head, then pointed to himself. I probably know what you're thinking. Naruto was taken aback. He's been thinking too much. What the hell does Kakashi know? Is it because he has not hidden his incomparable physique instinct, or when did his hard-pressed explosive attributes come to light? You want to give him the chance to learn ninjutsu? Kakashi pointed to Sasuke not far away. Eh? Kakashi spread his hands. I used to have a stupid teammate who didn't know how to learn anything, and didn't have anything to eat. He was stupider than Sasuke. He was the tail of a 10,000 years crane. My teacher often uses this method to motivate him, and I will make the same choice as you. Kakashi bent down, held a small note between his fingers, and placed it in front of Naruto. You've done a good job for your companion's pride, Naruto. Naruto silently took the note. No content, this is a chakra test strip. To be honest, Naruto was still a little surprised. What Kakashi said is not entirely wrong, it can only be said that they are not next to each other. Concerned about Sasuke's pride? You might as well ask him if his butt hurt yesterday is healed. Naruto has nothing else to ask for now, he just wants to find an opportunity to go out of the village to have a good time and get used to it quickly. The drama has already begun. Orochimaru has already started preparations, and it is estimated that the Chunin assessment will start now. If he wants to cooperate with others, he must be prepared. But look what Kakashi means. Don't worry, I won't tell Sasuke what you already know. Kakashi squinted and smiled. This is my reward for you alone. Reward? You who think about your teammates. Naruto looked at the chakra test strip in his hand. He wants to say no because he already knew the answer. Even if there is no third-generation target template. For a single first-generation item, the 5 basic attributes are also complete. But if you refuse, forget it, it's not bad, it doesn't matter. Sooner or later he will be fully displayed. What 9 tails, Mangekyo, wood style. This thing is different from the bad value, and it will not appreciate in value if it is kept. And it's just a chakra attribute. What ninjutsu to learn, how much to learn, don't you look at him? Naruto raised his eyebrows and injected chakra anyway. Chakra got wet first, and it became more and more wet very quickly, as if water was about to drip out after a while. Thanks to the 10% second generation project template. Most of Naruto's chakra level is LV6, and the yin and yang attributes are only LV5. Only the water attribute chakra is directly LV8. When it comes up, it occupies 1/3 of the chakra test strip. Is it more inclined to the water attribute, but it is different from the teacher. The amount of chakra poured is a bit outrageous. Kakashi was secretly surprised. The strength of the effect reflected by the chakra test strip represents the possession of chakra. Judging from the reaction of the test strip in Naruto's hand, his chakra level is probably very outrageous. It can only be said that they are the descendants of those two. At such a young age, there is so much chakra. Chakra test strips are still changing. Cracked, wrinkled, charred, crumbled. Only the 5 basic attributes can be tested, and yin and yang cannot be displayed. Therefore, the remaining 4 attributes of Naruto each account for 1/6. This. Kakashi's eyes widened. Everything came too fast, just now his attention was still on Naruto's chakra volume. All of a sudden, 4 more reactions appeared on the chakra test strip. Naruto actually has all the attributes from the very beginning, just like the 3rd generation master. Kakashi hurriedly took the test strip, eyes full of disbelief. Kind of outrageous. Not to mention the large amount of chakra, but the nature of chakra is also full. Kakashi realized something immediately. Naruto in front of you. Inherited the teacher's talent, but also has the same full chakra attributes as the 3rd generation. And also 9 tails Jinchuriki, in this way. Kakashi froze for a full minute. What comes to mind is the scene of the vigorous teacher and the mountain-like 3rd generation, fighting side by side. The figures of the two gradually overlapped, and finally turned into the appearance of Naruto. And under Naruto's feet, there is still a 9 tails. Just wait for me here, Naruto. Kakashi straightened his face. After leaving these words, the figure immediately disappeared and left in a hurry. Naruto watched Kakashi drift away. The direction in which he disappeared was the Hokage building. Tisk. Naruto raised his eyebrows again. It's just to show the chakra attribute, as for it. His wood style is still being upgraded, and his Sharingan is almost at Mangekyo. When it was exposed when it fell, Quan Konoha must not be scared to death on the spot. Naruto stood up, patted his buttocks and prepared to leave. 4 Hokage templates, not for display. So far, his biggest hole cards are not LV9 water style, nor wood style, Sharingan. It's not a shitty future with unlimited growth. Rather, it is the four shadows against chakra, the awareness and mastery of the battle. And of course his explosive attributes, but these are not prepared for Konoha. These are all individual forces. It is better to use it heads up, and Pain should be able to clean up when he comes. But if all the ninjas in the entire Konoha came to beat him up? Naruto is still a little timid. The main thing is that I have never fought in such a big way, and I have no experience. To deal with a super large ninja organization like Konoha, you have to be a big guy like Nine Tails. As soon as the tailed beast bomb goes down, I feel happy. Naruto, are you leaving? At this time, little Sakura ran over. Sasuke not far away is also looking this way. Where's Mr. Kakashi? Naruto spread his hands and pointed to the woods not far away. He's going to get his papa. He's in a hurry, he didn't bring any paper, I'll buy it for him. Naruto said that he was about to withdraw, but little Sakura silently took out a pack of paper from the ninja bag. The corners of Naruto's eyes twitched, careless. A girl's ninja bag is as magical as a girl's heart. But this did not delay Naruto from running away. Ms. Kakashi is not used to common paper, he likes the thrill of friction. You don't understand, I just go and buy it. Naruto waved his hand and walked away. He has no time to waste. Kakashi was so shocked to see his chakra attribute, let alone third generation. Every step that follows has to be done with extreme care. The general idea, I am afraid that the distinguished heavenly gods package has been arranged. Naruto is anxious. Very anxious. If you don't eat a luxurious meal of Ichiraku ramen set priced at 200 taels, you won't be able to sleep tonight. But before that, when Naruto confirmed that small Sakura and Sasuke did not keep up, there was also no one around. I saw that his hands quickly formed a seal. Puff. After a puff of white smoke, a Naruto who is loveless appears. Hurry up and sneak out to gain experience, and try to hold on for as long as possible. I want to refuse, is that okay? Shadow Clone Naruto said. Impossible. Naruto shook his head, there are not many chances. If third generation and Danzo really concoct me, we will have a hard time in the future. It's hard work, anyway, everyone is the same when Infinite Tsukuyomi arrives. The speed of Shadow Clone's failure is faster than that of the main body. And more thoroughly. That said, I'm afraid that Infinite Tsukuyomi won't be able to come. Naruto sighed again and again, if we eat distinguished heavenly gods, we will be the children of prophecy. At that time, I have to work for Konoha. Yes. Shadow Clone was taken aback for a moment, then scratched his head, then why don't you go? Because, I can Shadow Clone, ink for 3 minutes. When Shadow Clone finally reluctantly used a transformation technique, he left sight. Naruto could only shake his head helplessly, then silently walk to the Ichiraku ramen restaurant. After eating a bowl of ramen, one went home and took a shower. Naruto looked at himself in himself. 12 years old, 160 centimeters, not too tall, only about 10 centimeters taller than the original body. But the original body was far behind him in terms of weight. 55 kilograms, 8 pack of abdominal muscles, 2 pack of chest muscles, his body contains infinite strength. I don't know when it started. Every time he looks in the mirror, it gives Naruto an inexplicable confidence. Naruto stroked his hair, it's kind of like Tisk. The original hairstyle was actually inherited from the Minato gene. But every time he went for a haircut, the barber cut him short. This is the purpose of third generation. Naruto didn't know it at first. Because he didn't want to look at those barber's eyes, he always cut his hair by himself. It was an accidental passing by. Naruto accidentally found the barber inside, whose aura was similar to that of Anbu who had watched him. Only then did I suddenly understand this. Konoha is a giant. An Anbu is filled in every corner of Konoha. Common ninjas are active on the bright side, carrying Konoha's forehead protector, demonstrating Konoha's strength. But the veins connected by each Anbu node are the true appearance of Konoha. And these Anbu, everything is in the hands of the third generation. It's about time. Naruto closed his eyes, the system interface flickered out instantly. Host. Uzumaki Naruto, current plane, Hokage world. Current template. Jonin. Each attribute reaches 10,000, after defeating 10 Jonin, 1 cage level, it will be automatically promoted to a cage level template. Templates used. Senju Hashirama 10%, Senju Tobarama 10%, Sarutobi Hiruzen 10%, Namikaze Minato 10%. Personal attributes. 3. The recharge channel is locked. Constitution energy. 13,739 amount of chakra. 14319. Psychic energy. 10,910 buff. 4. Bad value. Salted fish treasure. 41.5 W. Salted fish value. 107.5 W. Personal skills. 21. Water style ninjutsu LV9. 6. Wood style ninjutsu. 10. Other ninjutsu. 4. Unlocked skills. 1. Chakra attributes. 7. Blood succession boundary. 2. Wood style LV3. Upgrading. 35.7%. Sharingan LV3. Upgrading. 81.9%. Special items. 6. 8 Sign Seal Space Spree * 7599. Summoning Contract Rashomon LV5. First Hokage Senju Hashirama Template. 1% * 9 Second Hokage Senju Tobarama Template. 1% * 13. Third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen Template. 1% * 5 Fourth Hokage Namikaze Minato Template. 1% * 6. Personal permissions. 2 8 Trigram Space Usage Rights. 1.3%. 9 Tails Chakra Usage Rights. 1.3%. Current tasks. None. It has been bad for 6 years, and it has been saved for 6 years. The above is all the property of Naruto, nothing great. The bad value has not been moved from the beginning to the end, only in and out. So there is the current daily 4,000 plus salted fish value credit. Every time he saves for a period of time, Naruto will buy wood style. Very expensive. The most basic wood style wood ingot wall costs more than 300. The price can buy 3 pairs of Sasuke's current Sharingan. Large-scale skills are more expensive, starting at 1 W. When it comes to macro-level skills such as Wooden Dragon Technique and Wooden Golem Jutsu, it starts directly with millions. It is impossible to rely on the system to reach the full level in one's lifetime, and Naruto is too lazy to practice. The remaining 9 Hashirama templates can be improved as much as possible, otherwise they can only be used for supporting the field. LV1, it won't break when touched, it's okay to be scary. In addition to wood style, Naruto also made a Rashomon contract, which is priced at 20 W. But this is really not expensive, you only need to buy it once per level up. Naruto bought 5 in one go, feeling full of security. Then there is the template for the 4-bit Hokage. Except for the obvious increase in the first time, the effect is getting lower and lower each time it is used. But the accumulation of fighting consciousness is becoming more and more obvious. Especially for different shadows, the fighting routines are different from each other. As a beneficiary, Naruto has a clear sense of subject. First generation likes oppressive crushing, and he can't help but want to use wood style every time he fights. The second generation project is relatively straightforward, most of which are aimed at the key, clean and neat. Third generation is currently taking the route of ninjutsu suppression. Naruto always feels that his fingers want to twitch because he needs to use a series of ninjutsu. The purpose of the 4th generation routine will be more showy, it is the way of physical skills plus props plus instant body. Which is stronger and which is weak Naruto does not want to comment. Because he hasn't been able to digest any of them now. The Shadow Clone, which he has saved for 6 years, only went out this afternoon. As for the rest, Naruto is not going to use it for the time being. One is that it takes too much effort to adapt. On the one hand, it is also a means of saving one's own life. It's a pity that after the personal attribute is added to 10,000, you can't Krypton Gold. Otherwise, Naruto will spend tens of thousands more in mental attributes, and it will be easy to win all the Hokage templates. As for the future, Naruto, I really don't intend to work hard. It doesn't matter if you tear your face with Konoha, or break your head with pain. If you want to win, there must be a way, but it will be tiring. The preparations are quite adequate, that's no different from the Son of Prophecy's bitterness. Let the big pillar at the peak go online for 1 minute, and a mob like Pain in seconds, isn't he good? Naruto nodded, feeling good. In the past 6 years, he has not revealed his strength, and he has not spent a dime indiscriminately. If you have money, you can buy wood style, and water style depends on lottery. I didn't buy one of the spicy chicken ninjutsu. Even Sharingan only paid 100 yuan to upgrade to the present. In 6 years, it is not too late to upgrade to Mangekyo. Urzuzi annihilated the clan and opened a Hook Jade angrily, and it has not yet been upgraded. If it wasn't for buying Mangekyo directly in the system, it might not be able to stimulate the illusion immunity he wanted. Naruto would have bought it a long time ago. I have persisted for 6 years, worrying and fearing every day, isn't it just for this day? Everything is ready, just open the gift bag. Naruto raised an eyebrow. 7,599 gift packs. No matter how bad his luck is, it shouldn't be a problem to drive 50%. Can open 50%, and the rest can be handed over to Nine Tails. When the time comes, tear off the seal and let Nine Tails enjoy it for a while, and the scene will be more realistic. Perfect. Permission obtained, 0.01% of 8 sign seal space usage rights. Privilege obtained. Nine Tails Chakra, Yang, Chakra usage rights 0.01%. Skill acquired. Tailed Beast Bomb LV 1 inch, get permission, 8 sign seal. System prompts appeared one after another, and Naruto directly closed the system interface. Nearly 8,000 gift bags. Let the system turn for a while. Hokage office. The 3rd generation project is preparing for the honorarium. Today is the first day for the ninja school graduates to perform tasks, and the D-level tasks are almost emptied at once. Some are paid in person, and some are settled at the Hokage building. 3rd generation glanced at it, and at least 3 teams had to come back to collect the money. Boom, there was a knock on the office door. Enter. Master 3rd generation. Kakashi walked in. 3rd generation glanced at it, but didn't notice Kakashi's anxious expression, but looked at the mission board. Kakashi, I remember that the mission of the 7th class was. Please look at this, Lord 3rd generation. Kakashi handed over the chakra test strips. Although Kakashi has been very fast along the way, the traces on the chakra test paper have faded a bit. The 3rd generation took it over in confusion. Next second. Whose is this? 3rd generation's eyes were serious, and his tone was even more shocked and anxious. It's Naruto's. The amount of chakra is more than it looks now. The test time was 5 minutes ago. In 5 minutes, rush to the Hokage building from the rural land on the outskirts of Konoha. Kakashi has offended many people along the way. 5 minutes ago. 3rd generation was even more shocked. The limit of effectiveness of chakra test paper is about 5 to 10 minutes. It's more than half of the time now. How can it be maintained to this level? All 5 attributes are available. Chakra is far beyond ordinary people. 3rd generation suddenly stood up. Where is Naruto now? At today's mission location, Kakashi replied without thinking. Then he hesitated for a moment, scratched his head again, and said embarrassedly, but it may also be at home. With that guy's personality, he might have gone home and fallen asleep by now. 3rd generation paused, and at this time, boom, boom, boom. Along with the sound of crutches hitting the ground, 3rd generation suddenly frowned. Kakashi recognized the voice. Then I'll go back first. Sasuke and little Sakura are still practicing, Lord 3rd generation. 3rd generation nodded. Kakashi disappeared instantly, flickering away from the window of the Hokage building. He didn't really want to see the person who was coming over soon. Not too good for meeting. Almost immediately after Kakashi left. Squeak, the office door was opened by 2 masked roots. Danzo walked in with steady steps and glanced at the window for the first time. But I didn't care. Sarutobi, a letter from 4th Kage, planning to come to Konoha to observe the Chunin assessment. What do you think? Danzo walked directly to the desk and got straight to the point. 3rd generation sat down on the desk unhurriedly. San Shinobi is Konoha's ally after all. Regarding this, I have already drafted a reply letter. This is also a good opportunity to deepen the friendship between the 2 villages. Sarutobi Hiruzen exhaled. You didn't come here just for this, Danzo. Danzo frowned upon hearing this. They've been friends for decades. You know my length, I know your depth. And Danzo found out when he first walked in the door. Sarutobi is a little weird today. What is he hiding? Is it the ninja who just went out? Who will it be? No matter who it is, it will definitely leave traces. Danzo narrowed his eyes. Of course not. The 2 old Yinbi, who had known each other since before Konoha built the village, looked at each other at this moment. Danzo's one eye is squinted, so suspicious. 3rd generation was smoking a cigarette, looking calm and calm. What's this? Danzo asked suddenly. 3rd generation subconsciously looked at the chakra test strips on the table. When his eyes fell, he suddenly realized that something was wrong. It's on. Oh? Danzo's eyes flashed with pride. After so many years, this old guy's mind is still so easy to handle. Let the old man see. What exactly are you trying to hide, monkey? Following the gaze of third generation, Danzo saw the chakra test paper on the table. His pupils shrank suddenly due to the distinct reaction situation. It's nothing. Danzo has quick eyes and quick hands, and before third generation's eyes were about to retract, he suddenly snatched it away. His crutches were still in place. The roots behind him are firmly caught, smooth and skilled in business. Obviously, Danzo doesn't need this stuff. 5 chakra attributes. Danzo confirmed carefully, and then looked at the third generation item suddenly. Who the hell is this? The third generation fell silent. Careless. Why is this old guy so fast? Seeing that third generation didn't answer, Danzo turned around and was about to leave. If you don't tell me, the old man can find out. Konoha Anbu spreads all over the village, but don't forget, the roots are the cradle of Anbu. Don't look it up, it's Uzumaki Naruto, third generation side. Old. Not only did the reaction slow down, but the vigilance also dropped. A thought suddenly flashed in third generation's mind. If the person sitting here is still the fourth generation, those 8 Danzo are probably not as fast as his flying thunder god, right? 9 Tails Jin Shiriki? Danzo turned around, his one eye narrowed again. His first reaction was not shock, but to judge whether the old man is lying to him. 9 Tails Jinchuriki, Uzumaki Naruto, Class 7, instructing Jonin. It turned out that he had just left in a hurry. It was the son of the sinner who defected from the roots and dragged Tenzo, Yamato along. Are you afraid to face the old man? That would make sense. But Danzo turned and walked back to the third generation. Are you going to teach the 9 Tails Jinchuriki yourself, Sarutobi? Danzo, who is familiar with the character of third generation, guessed the old man's mind at the first time. Third generation continues to smoke. I haven't thought about it yet, this child is, after all, still young. Yeah. Danzo sneered softly. The two looked at each other again. But this time, there was no tit for tat, nor secret rivalry. Instead, they understand each other. I see, let's leave it to General. You owe me one more time. Danzo didn't stay any longer, turned around and left. We have met and known each other for decades, and everything is silent. Other things, maybe you and I can't agree, but on the use of 9 Tails Jinchuriki. Everything, for Konoha, Naruto's biological clock is weird. No matter how early I went to bed the day before, the time to wake up is often 8 o'clock. And after 8 o'clock, he hadn't seen Konoha in the early morning for a long time. Get up and shower as usual. Looking at the instant noodles well placed on the table, Naruto raised his eyebrows, and silently changed his breakfast. Very interesting, who eats instant noodles with who spicy soup? Eating is also for Anbu to see. I'm poor, I'm lazy, I'm normal. Today is different. Anbu's monitoring was revoked, and it was completely revoked. Naruto can be eaten casually not only for breakfast, but also for lunch and dinner. And still have 2 servings. Belch. After eating and drinking enough, Naruto's dead fish eyes became more serious. Unboxed yesterday. There were a lot of things, and he was too lazy to look at them one by one. Can't wait, just fell asleep. Open the system interface and pull to the last line. What the hell? Naruto was taken aback. Permission, 68.9% right to use 8 sign seal space. Permission, 9 Tails Chakra, Yang, 71.9% right to use chakra. With Naruto's temperament, 50% has reached his expectation. How can you be so lucky that 90% of the gift bags are all authorized? In the early 70s, it's enough to enter the tailed beast mode, right? Naruto raised an eyebrow. However, he was not in a hurry to enter the sealed space, but checked up. He opened a full 7,599 gift packages. The permissions accounted for more than 7,000, so there were still hundreds of gift bags left. Naruto checked the tailed beast bomb first. This is the only skill he didn't unlock. In the past, it needed sufficient permissions to unlock it. Naruto was too lazy to open it every day, so it just left dust. Tailed beast bomb LV8, not activated. Why LV8? Naruto frowned. After the water style is upgraded to LV9, it cannot break through. If you sign in the skills again, you can only sell them. Naruto is not sure if tailed beast bomb is the same, whether it is possible to break through LV9. But at least it shouldn't be LV8, unless... Naruto hurriedly looked up. Soon, he found the answer. Special skills, Adamantine Sealing Chains LV7. Non-attribute Ninjutsu Rasengan LV9. I see. Naruto suddenly realized. Found it, 4th Hokage's skill check-in point. Oh, I thought it was in the shrine of the Uzumaki clan. Naruto smiled. 2nd generation's target skills check-in point is at the school. After all, he founded the ninja school, which is also commemorative. The skill check-in point for the purpose of 3rd generation is in the current Hokage building. This is also quite normal, after all, it is Hokage today. Unexpectedly, the skill check-in point for the 4th generation will be in the Nine Tails space. With Kushina and Nine Tails, Holy Trinity, when the sealed space is completely unlocked, the explosion rate should be higher. Naruto curled his lips and didn't think about it. This is just a sign in reward. External possessions. Isn't it just a flying thunder god? It is sold in the system space. Although it is more expensive, it is estimated that it is very convenient to learn. The demand is not that great. The 4th generation can become Hokage by this trick, but the end result is to seal a Nine Tails. Nine Tails rubbed against the ground by the 1st generation eye. Also the guy he was going to see now. Swish, space conversion. Naruto returned to the sealed space again. Stepping into the sealed space again, Naruto obviously felt different. It's hard to describe the feeling. When he stepped into the sealed space for the first time, he could only lie on the floor to sleep. After successful sign-in, the 0.01% usage right is activated. Adding spiritual attributes to it can manifest something. After that, Naruto's mental attributes skyrocketed, and it's not like he didn't try to improve his sleep quality. For example, set up 3 rooms and 1 living room in the sealed space. But that's when he found out, insufficient permissions, many things can't be figured out. Even if you can get it out, the maintenance time is very short. So Naruto gave up. It has been saved until today, and the authority has exceeded 70%. He finally got the feeling, this space, this Nine Tails, seems to be the plasticine in my hands. It seems that I can pinch it into any shape I want. Nine Tails was used to this guy coming in and out every day without even opening his eyes. Naruto raised an eyebrow. How are you? Naruto tentatively called Nine Tails. Nine Tails, this is the one who slowly opened those bell-like eyes. It's not the same as it was 6 years ago. No anger, no killing intent to eat Naruto alive. There is also no such deep disgust for the 4th generation and that woman's child. Instead, it was very peaceful. 6 years. Naruto slept here for 6 years. Nine Tails also observed Naruto for 6 years. This kid spends very little time awake. When you come in, you sleep, and when you wake up, you leave directly. Today is the first time this guy has taken the initiative to say hello in several years. Snort. Nine Tails, lying on the ground, snorted. Then, I closed my eyes again. 6 years. You have been sleeping in front of me every day for 6 years. Remember to say hello now? Hey, experience for yourself how no one agrees to you no matter what you say. The arrogant Nine Tails refused to communicate and directly closed his eyes. Forehead. Naruto scratched his head. Really? It is still difficult to communicate with Nine Tails. Before coming in, he still had some hope, thinking about discussing it with Nine Tails. But obviously, he doesn't even have the qualifications to have a conversation. Then don't go this way. Naruto took a deep breath. Tentatively, he held out a finger. Rise. Naruto begins to operate. Nine Tails opened his eyes in a little confusion. How does it feel? It seems to be floating. Nine Tails woke up suddenly, and it found that its body was rising uncontrollably. It's not difficult. The corner of Naruto's mouth ticked slightly after the operation was successful. Nine Tails, originally a collection of chakra and consciousness. Naruto has control over this chakra, which is equivalent to controlling Nine Tails' body. Roar. In the sealed space, the roar of Nine Tails was so angry. You are weak. When the old man goes out, he will definitely swallow you alive. Okay. Naruto replied so perfunctorily, while continuing to operate. Hey, go left. Roar. Nine Tails tries to struggle. But it found that it couldn't do it. Most of the body is no longer under its control, but Naruto, somehow, can control it through the seal. It's a bad feeling. Madara has controlled it twice. Suppress its consciousness and let it suffer the worst beating. But no matter how you say it, you are still fighting. People fear it, fear its wrath. Isn't the reason why Madara wants to control it because she covets its power? But now, in Naruto's hands, it is like a toy. This is something Nine Tails can't stand. It opened its bloody mouth and roared wildly, and chakra also quickly condensed in its mouth. The seal of the fourth generation's purpose is still very strong, it will definitely not be able to break through the blockade. But Nine Tails is not willing to let this be fiddled with. Don't make trouble. Naruto smiled slightly when he saw this scene. The current Nine Tails has less than half of the body control left, and it is basically considered hemiplegic. But even so, the temper is still very strong. Then put the chain back on. Naruto stretched out his hand and held it in the air. Next second, in the cage of 8 sign seal, chains of chakras suddenly appeared. Directly tied up Nine Tails' mouth tightly. You've been with me for so many years, haven't you learned anything? Naruto's dead fish eyes gradually became indifferent. Nine Tails struggled frantically, but couldn't escape the restraint no matter what. 8 sign seals suppression plus adamantine sealing chains, plus Naruto's control. Naruto's collar has been put on Nine Tails' neck. When you can't resist, don't think about working hard, don't think about struggling. Efforts are useless, and struggling can only make you more miserable. Naruto increased the output, and the chains in the cage appeared one after another, and they were firmly tied to Nine Tails. In the end, Nine Tails was forcibly suspended in midair, unable to move. Naruto looked at Nine Tails in front of him. As long as he has a thought, he can knead Nine Tails into the shape he wants. Nine Tails today, isn't it the same as him in the past 6 years? At the mercy of others, even the hairstyle has to be controlled by others. Unable to move, Anbu is watching wherever he goes. If there is any dissatisfaction, a long knife will appear on the neck immediately. The difference is, he stayed for 6 years and failed for 6 years. Good days are coming soon, and Nine Tails, don't worry, all I want is your strength, I don't need your surrender. When I'm ready, someone will pick you up. After Naruto finished speaking, he made a seal with both hands, and a shadow clone appeared immediately. But this shadow clone is different from the previous ones. Without saying a word, he directly mentioned chakra and took control of Nine Tails in the sealed space. Let it be honest, when Chunin is assessed, I will come back and tear the seal. Naruto's body said in a low voice, no problem. Naruto's shadow clone snapped his fingers, and a sofa appeared under his ass. Shadow clone sat on it, while controlling Nine Tails. Keep playing. Swish, Naruto's consciousness has just returned to reality, and he is about to pack up and go. But at this time, come back so soon? A lot of information feedback appeared in his mind. The shadow clone number 1 he sent disappeared. A lot of information came back. After shadow clone got out of Konoha, he ran to the Valley of the End in one breath. There are mountains, waters, and forests, and the key points are few people, so it is very suitable for practice. Shadow clone practiced from day to night, and from night to day. Naruto could feel the excitement of shadow clone. No one supervises, wantonly vent their power, do whatever they want. Naruto's shadow clone level is maxed out. LV9 is definitely the great sage in the finale of the original body. Fast printing, high synchronization rate of consciousness, stable chakra, absolutely solid and durable. Spent half a day and one night and just ran out of chakra. Naruto instantly felt quite tired, and felt that his big bed was calling him. But at the same time, his mastery of the 4 major Hokage templates has also been significantly improved. Not to say 100% mastered, but it is estimated that after a few more times, it will be almost the same. Very well, let's go all out, and then, Naruto suddenly thought of something. Closing his eyes, he came to the 8 sign seal space again. At this time, Nine Tails has been chained into a ball by Shadow Clone. Shadow Clone controlled the big ball to fly around through the cage, apparently mastered the trick of control. The animal taming program is well underway. Yo, you're back, so soon? You play your game? Okay, stop watching Shadow Clone. Two-handed mudra, 4 Shadow Clone appear together. Shadow Clone technique, in fact, is not much different from multiple Shadow Clone techniques. Naruto didn't buy multiple Shadow Clone techniques, but he can still do the LV9 Shadow Clone technique by dividing a few more. After all, it was Senju Tobirama who developed the multiple Shadow Clone technique. Time is running out, everyone. Please redouble your efforts. Naruto said with a serious face. The 8 sign seal space authority has come up, and it can be used here. 4 Shadow Clone in pairs, the efficiency may be doubled. Naruto roughly calculated the time. After a while, the mission of the Kingdom of Waves will come. After returning, it was the Chunin assessment Not to mention, the goal that I have been holding back for 6 years is coming soon. I am really a little excited. But then again, yesterday Kakashi brought his chakra test strips to the Hokage building. Normally, the 3rd generation project should have already taken action at this moment. Anbu evacuated, and Naruto estimated that the 3rd generation might come in person. Appears sincere, but it's the next morning. This is not like the style of 3rd generation. 8:45, Naruto came to the meeting place. It is a small park with both open space and dense woods. There is also a small stream flowing beside it, suitable for practice, but also suitable for dating. Naruto has just arrived at the place and hasn't greeted him yet. It turns out that little Sakura is okay, but Sasuke looks a bit embarrassed. Despite the dark circles under his eyes, the clothes on his body are clean, but there are bruises on his exposed arms and legs. It is estimated that yesterday I practiced climbing trees and fell a lot. But it's interesting to look at, in disdain, with a little pride. Tisk. It seems that I have learned it after all. Naruto thought secretly, but isn't that what it is? Yesterday afternoon, when Kakashi came back, little Sakura had already learned to climb a tree. Little Sakura was originally talented in controlling chakra. It's just that Kakashi treated him differently, and he didn't adjust his mentality well at first. Once adjusted, it worked immediately, but Sasuke is pretty much the same as in the anime. The mentality has been very stable, and as a result, I practiced from dawn to dark. But luckily it worked out in the end, better than some guy who excuses buying paper for Kakashi only to go home and sleep. From now on, you will be far behind me, Naruto. Sasuke secretly thought, from chakra control to ninjutsu learning. This is not the time for students, it takes skill. Good morning, everyone. Kakashi came very early today and was only an hour late. Good morning, little Sakura responded feebly. This teacher is good at being late, and she has begun to get used to it. So we're going to pick up the mission now, Mr. Kakashi. Little Sakura asks, well, I got up early this morning, so by the way, I'll take your tasks for today. Kakashi smiled and took out a scroll, but Sasuke is not happy. It's time for you to keep your promise, Kakashi. Sasuke frowned. You said that the one who reaches the finish line first can learn a ninjutsu from you. Naruto next to him raised his eyebrows, pretty serious. But having said that, if Kakashi wants to teach Sasuke now, it should be Chidori. I just don't know how long it will take for Sasuke, who has never experienced the land of waves, to learn. This. Kakashi scratched his head in embarrassment. Plans can't keep up with changes. The purpose of proposing this competition was to teach Naruto directly. In addition to some personal reasons, I also want to stimulate the catfish effect. Sasuke has a strong self-esteem. Although not explicitly stated, it is not difficult to see that he has been competing with Naruto. It's just that Naruto never responds. The 7th class now is indeed somewhat similar to the 7th class back then. Chakra is naturally sensitive and delicate little Sakura, also has the talent of medical ninjutsu. A Naruto that is far ahead, a Sasuke who has been following in Naruto's footsteps. Except for the small Sakura, other configurations are even higher than theirs back then. It's just that the personality is so different. In this world, people who don't follow the rules are trash. Seeing that Kakashi didn't speak, Sasuke thought he wanted to renege on the debt, so he was not happy at the time. You said that, Kakashi, are you trying to break the agreement now? Naruto raised his eyebrows again. It seems that people and children are in a hurry. They are starting to use aggressive methods. Please, you want to learn ninjutsu from others, Cauldron. Why don't you know anything about the world? Look at us. When I first came here 6 years ago, the villagers wanted to smash rotten eggs every day to express their hatred. In just 6 years, people have replaced rotten eggs with stones. Not only the quality has been improved, the key is also easy to clean. What is it called? It's called the art of bad show. Don't say it so seriously. Kakashi's eyes were cold for a moment, but only for a moment. He's not going to compete with a brat with excess self-esteem. Kakashi smiled and stretched out both hands, palms down, and clenched his fists. Come on, Sasuke-kun, come and pick one, Kakashi said softly. I don't want to play such a silly game with you. Sasuke said coldly. Are you sure? You gave up on this yourself. Come on, choose one, and whichever one you choose, I will teach you which one. Kakashi follows the guidance. Sasuke frowned, stared at Kakashi's hands, and finally gave a cold snort. Left. Oh, you're lucky. Kakashi immediately withdrew his left hand. I have been struggling all night, should I hand over this powerful ninjutsu to you? Kakashi said, taking 2 steps back sideways. Watch it, Sasuke-kun. You are a member of the Uchiha clan. If you want to practice this ninjutsu, it shouldn't be a big problem. I saw Kakashi connecting seals one after another. Sasuke watched carefully, and little Sakura also held her breath. It's Naruto. This seal. Kakashi is a bit perfunctory. He didn't recognize what kind of ninjutsu it was. But judging from the order and complexity of the seals, this technique is absolutely ordinary. What is general? It is estimated to be C grade, or even below C grade. After all, it will not be a reliable thing. Fire-style great fireball technique. I saw Kakashi took a sharp breath after completing the seal, and then squirted forward. Praise. A scorching fireball was sprayed out like this. Naruto raised his eyebrows again. Little Sakura's eyes widened. Isn't this the technique Sasuke used? Why? You are weak. Sasuke clenched his fists. He still overestimated the lower limit of this guy. He actually used the ninjutsu he had already learned to make up for it. How? Do you understand? Kakashi turned his head and smiled. And Sasuke, who couldn't bear it anymore, finally broke out. You trash. Sasuke actually charged directly at Kakashi. It can be next second. Boom. Kakashi had already pressed Sasuke to the ground, stepped on Sasuke's arm with one hand, and Sasuke's other arm was also captured in his hand. Before learning ninjutsu with me, learn how to obey, Sasuke-kun. Kakashi's voice was so cold. I remember your goal is to defeat your big brother, right? But what I'm going to tell you is, even that guy was 100% obedient when he served under my subordinates. You're so far away from him that you can ignore something so obvious. Kakashi let go of Sasuke, but his gaze was still on Sasuke. Think about it carefully, the technique you have mastered, and the technique I just used. After you figure it out, think about whether to take it back. Genius. Not far away, Naruto watched all this silently, somewhat surprised. But I have to say, Kakashi did a great job. I want to beat Sasuke again. What a relief. Kakashi is actually quite helpless. He didn't want to compete with a little devil, especially someone like Sasuke with super self-esteem. But, so similar, so much like myself back then. Even Sasuke is even more extreme than he was back then. So Kakashi had no choice but to make a bad move. Today's 7th class is different from the 7th class back then. Different configurations have different personalities. Sasuke has the same rank as that guy, but has 10 times the self-esteem of that guy. Naruto is stronger than himself back then, but the character of this salted fish is more than 10 years ahead of him. The key is in this team. Little Sakura, who was supposed to act as a mediator, couldn't play a role for the time being. So Mr. Minato's education method will not work. Even, some aspects have to be reversed. Treat Naruto the same way you treated Obito back then. Teach what you can teach, and digest as much as you can digest. He had already talked to 3rd generation in the morning. The original words of the purpose of 3rd generation is to observe for a period of time. See if there are other talents, so Kakashi intends to start with a lot of ninjutsu teaching. This can be regarded as the only advantage of copying a ninja as a teacher. And treat Sasuke. Kakashi didn't know if it was right or not. But a guy whose eyes are blinded by pride and hatred is going to have big problems. That's what he was back then. Think about it now. If he wasn't the absolute core of the team back then, he wasn't that captain. That now. They should still be there, right? After Kakashi taught Sasuke a lesson, he glanced at little Sakura, and then at Naruto. Little Sakura, I hope you can understand that I don't teach you ninjutsu, not because of your grades and strength. It's because, in my opinion, it might be a little cruel for you to choose the wrong path. Hope you understand. Kakashi's tone was mild. But after the scene just now, little Sakura is obviously a little surprised now. Hastily nodded non-stop while also paying attention to Sasuke's situation. Naruto. Kakashi looked at Naruto again. Naruto was taken aback. He is innocent? I can understand your feelings, but the fact is that giving blindly will only make the situation worse. Kakashi exhaled, his tone softer. I hope you can understand. A team, it's not enough to rely on one person's contribution. That way you will pay a more painful price sooner or later. Believe me, I have experience. I can trust you, but can we talk about the libel thing first? Naruto blinked. Yesterday was also today. Why did you see that the good guy card is coming after watching the show? So, Naruto scratched his head and asked tentatively. And Kakashi showed a gratified smile. He didn't refuse, it seems that he listened. Then, Kakashi's eyes suddenly became flat. The one who reaches the finish line first can learn a ninjutsu. But some people's beginnings, long ago, are others' endings. Most of these words were obviously addressed to Sasuke. But here comes the problem. Naruto doesn't remember showing himself climbing a tree either? He will be true and sneaky, but how did Kakashi know? Here comes the problem again. Now that Kakashi knows, then third generation. At this time, nourishing, lightning flashed in Kakashi's hand. This technique is my own creation. It doesn't need seals, and its lethality is among the best among all A-level ninjutsu. Kakashi praised himself first, then looked at Naruto seriously. Naruto, you only get one chance. Prove that what I said is wrong. I will regard it as your chance to give up this study. The first lesson of the 7th class is to teach the importance of companions. The second class is the advanced use of chakra, and the third class. Kakashi is ready to allow the children to initially establish a normal relationship. It's okay to feel like a drag, but don't lose faith, try to find your own way. It's okay to have too much self-esteem, but don't be blinded by self-esteem and hatred, and become a blind man. It's okay to be lazy, care about your companions, and get used to it. But what should be learned must be learned, and what should be practiced must also be practiced. Naruto stared at Kakashi, at the lightning in his hand. Hesitate for a moment. Oh well, I saw Naruto dodge and came directly to the stream next to him. The stream was gurgling, but Naruto stood firmly on the water. Kakashi was right. Reikari, among all A-level ninjutsu, its lethality is among the best. The same goes for the price in the system, and it's so cool, it's a magic weapon for pretending to beep. In the Urzuzi anime, it is so pretentious, and this technique accounts for most of the credit. Very interesting. If I knew that Kakashi taught Reikari, then he showed it on the spot yesterday. If it weren't for the fact that he didn't dare to use it after buying it before, he would have swayed Rasengan's right-hand Reikari long ago, okay? Naruto just stood quietly on the water. Now, he can reasonably display ninjutsu, and will soon be able to add multiple lightning styles. The other side, Sasuke's eyes widened, and little Sakura covered her mouth. Kakashi exhaled. Fine. If Naruto really didn't want to practice because he was lazy, then he really lost all face today. But then again, this guy, when did he master it? Guy never mentioned it. It can only be said that he is the descendant of the teacher. I feel so stressed, what to do? In this way, the special training of the 7th class began. Sasuke began to become taciturn. After Kakashi's express, he finally saw something. It turns out that the technique I have been using, the technique that I thought I had mastered a long time ago, still had so much room for growth. The speed of the seal, the timing of the chakra's mobilization, even the number of seals. For Naruto's performance, Sasuke is still unwilling. But at the very least, it can calm down. Little Sakura also thought about what Kakashi said. But obviously, it will take some time to find the right path for a while. And Naruto, practicing Reikari every day, seems to work very hard. Because of the relationship between the system, as long as he keeps using it, his level will slowly increase. Coupled with the blessing of the 2nd generation and 3rd Hokage templates. Naruto estimates, the first LV9 ninjutsu he learned by himself will not take long. The shadow clone in the sealed space, seeing that the main body is working so hard, is also very motivated to practice. Naruto's superficial strength and real combat power are steadily improving. And time passed quietly. On this day, the 7th class completed the task. It's about helping a noblewoman from the Fire Nation find a lost trinket. The aristocrat lost a pair of precious earrings during his visit to Konoha 2 weeks ago. The 7th squad kept searching based on the whereabouts provided by the lady. It didn't work out at first. Seeing that the mission time limit was about to expire, Kakashi finally called out the ninja dog who had always been named Parker. In the end, it turned out to be found in a small woods. Check it out, it smells of you. Kakashi gave the earring to the lady. The lost property was recovered, but the lady clearly didn't look happy. Why did it take so long? It took me a whole day. The lady just glanced at the earrings, and threw them into the bag casually. Then he just stared at the third kid in the 7th class. Tisk. Why are there 3 brats? No wonder it took so long. How did Hokage arrange it? The lady looked disgusted, as if the 3 little ghosts came to carry out her commission. What an insult to her. Naruto had no expression on his face, but also sneered in his heart. This is Konoha. Konoha today. A lady who came to Konoha to steal someone dared to comment on Hokage. I don't know when it started. Ninja, in the eyes of the world, seems to have become a kind of advanced wage earner. You can do things with money, just like your own servants. Even Konoha, the largest ninja village in the ninja world today, seems to be a slightly larger talent market. A little sarcasm. The god of ninja back then, Shira of the ninja world back then. The battle between Uchiha and Senju. I don't know if in the eyes of these big names, it will be like a monkey show. Uchiha Madara breaks away from Konoha. I want to use the eyes of the moon to change the world. I don't know if there is such a reason, so here comes the problem. Orochimaru will be there soon, and the show is about to begin. At that time, Konoha will really be devastated. What should we think of these guys? Finally ended this task. The 7th shift is on its way to the Hokage building. The bounty for this single task is delivered directly to Hokage, and they have to confirm it after completing the task. By the way, get a new mission. Really, I didn't explain the position clearly, but I still dislike us. On the way, little Sakura kept complaining. Naruto is also speechless. Why didn't you dare to say this just now? Well, to complete the task of the benefactor, you must also take care of the benefactor's emotions. Kakashi smiled reassuringly. A group of people came to the Hokage building, Hokage office. Before entering the door, Naruto smelled the smell of alcohol and raised his eyebrows. There is only Sarutobi Hiruzen in the office, but this one never drinks during working hours. In addition, when receiving the task yesterday, Naruto noticed a task to find the pet, little tiger. Where does the smell of alcohol come from? Naruto probably has an idea in his mind. It's about to start. Naruto secretly exhaled. Although there are some discrepancies, the time is still consistent. What should happen will still happen. Class 7, let me take a look. Oh, this is your bounty. The 3rd generation first delivered the bounty to Kakashi, and then looked at the mission record of the 7th class. Having said that, Class 7 has performed quite a few D-level missions, so it's time to try C-level missions, right? As if asking for advice and advice, Kakashi understood, indeed, although there is still a lot to learn, it's time to increase the difficulty. That's right, 3rd generation nodded. Naruto silently watched the two talking about crosstalk. Come in. 3rd generation shouted towards the lounge. Immediately, an old man carrying a wine bottle walked in, reeking of alcohol. When the old man saw Class 7 for the first time, he immediately looked disgusted. What, they're all brats, HICC, it is the mission sponsor of the Kingdom of Waves, Dazna. 3rd generation ignored Darzna's dissatisfaction and introduced the mission content to the 3. This Mr. Dazna is in a hurry to return to the Kingdom of Waves and needs your escort. Hey, I said before, I don't want a kid to take this task. Dazna didn't know whether he was sober or drunk, and looked anxious. Class 7 was silent. Kakashi kept smiling. 3rd generation calmly took a puff of cigarette. They are all genin of Konoha, with the forehead protector of Konoha, and the leading teacher Kakashi is also Jonin. It's more than enough to complete a C-level mission, Mr. Disowner. Hearing the C-level mission, Dazna suddenly looked a little unnatural. Is this, like this? Dazna secretly glanced at Kakashi. Jonin generally would not accept C-level tasks, which made him very excited. So, Class 7, after the 3rd generation appeased the benefactor, he looked at Class 7 again. Are you willing to accept this task? Sasuke snorted coldly. I've been practicing hard for so long, I've long wanted to see blood. After speaking, not to be outdone, he glanced at Naruto. A week ago, he finally got Kakashi's approval. After Kakashi tested chakra for him, he also began to teach him that ninjutsu. Copy Ninja Kakashi's only original ninjutsu. It is particularly important to control chakra, but also to master the shape changes of chakra. Naruto had been practicing for so long before he barely found the knack. And it's only been a week, and he's almost mastered it. If Sasuke-kun agrees, I agree too. Little Sakura shyly raised her hand. Then he sneaked a glance at Naruto. Girls' minds are generally very sensitive. Indeed, there were two geniuses in the team, which put her under a lot of pressure all the time. But the difference between the two is still obvious. When performing tasks, the two of them are often together, and Naruto runs to be lazy by himself. To this, Sasuke didn't say anything after that time. Every time I just keep my head down and work hard, and practice quickly after finishing. Sasuke is very cold and seems to have no interest in anything other than practicing. But if you ask for help occasionally, as long as it is not too much, Sasuke will still respond. And Naruto? It seems that there is no pursuit, but every time he tries to communicate, he responds. But little Sakura always felt that Naruto was actually alienated from everyone. Same for Sasuke. To her too, even to Kakashi a bit perfunctory. This made little Sakura very curious about what Naruto was thinking all day long. But at the same time, also a little scared. Until now, 6 years, he had never seen Naruto angry. Not even nervous. Very similar to Mr. Kakashi. But once such a person gets angry, it should be very scary, right? What happened that day is still vivid. Little Sakura's attitude towards Naruto has begun to be cautious. The 7th class finally took over the task, responsible for sending Danzo to the land of waves. An hour later, gather at the gate of the village. No one was late this time, including Naruto. Mainly Naruto doesn't need to bring anything. 1 set of clothes, 2 pairs of underwear, a set of toiletries, plus a few buckets of instant noodles and some condiments. A plastic bag is enough. Naruto also carried a fishing rod. It was the first time he bought it in the System Mall 6 years ago. We have been together for many years and have feelings for each other. The wave country I went to this time is a water country, and it happened to be fishing. As for what fish to catch, then look at what bait he used. When Naruto came to the gate of Konoha village with a plastic bag and a fishing rod, everyone was there, including his owner. They all stared at the things in Naruto's hand, with very strange expressions. Naruto, we are going to the country of Naruto this time, and the journey alone takes a few days. You brought? Little Sakura couldn't help reminding. Ah, I know. Naruto waved his fishing rod, so I brought this, and I can fish and eat it when I get there. Unacceptable. Danzo, who couldn't bear it any longer, shouted angrily. I said you can't let the brat come, is that how you Konoha do things? I'm a bridge builder in the land of waves, you are escorting me back to build a bridge in the land of waves, not for an outing, my soul. I request a replacement, a team of real ninjas to carry out this task. Naruto raised an eyebrow. There are quite a lot of plays. How about, shall we not go? Naruto looked at Kakashi innocently. Does the mission of the Kingdom of Waves have to be carried out? Not really. It has nothing to do with him whether he goes to the Kingdom of Waves or not, whether he meets him or not, and whether he will kill him or not. Orochimaru has to come, and the Chunin assessment has to be held and has to be held. I want to participate in the Chunin assessment, but I didn't say that I have to perform sea-level tasks. Even if it is to be executed, doesn't it have to be the country of waves? Don't worry, Mr. Dishonor. Kakashi obviously didn't understand Naruto's eyes, and maybe he misunderstood. He went directly to Danzo's side with an apologetic smile on his face. Don't look at this guy's lack of energy, he is the strongest in this team. Usually I am very strict with myself. No, with so few things, I just want to create some difficulty for myself. Kakashi half coaxed and half lied, while also pulling Danzo forward. He kept gesturing to the 7th class behind him to move forward. Look, even though it's a sea-level mission, it's also a kind of practice on the road. This kid is working hard. Sasuke glanced at Naruto coldly, not hiding the disgust in his eyes. Then he let out a cold snort and silently followed. Naruto almost couldn't resist a big pussy tossed up. Why does this guy look so needy? Should have worked harder back then. One punch beat Sasuke into cerebral palsy, and Itachi didn't know what to choose on the spot. During this period of time, since the Nine Tails Space Authority was opened, shadow clones started sparring. Naruto's control over the 4 major templates is getting better and better. However, the Chunin assessment is getting closer, and Naruto's mentality has gradually begun to change. After holding back for 6 years, I always need to vent. But now is not the time. It's okay Naruto, I brought a lot of food, if you don't mind, you can eat my food. Little Sakura said tentatively in a low voice. Naruto frowned slightly. Smell, the breath of green tea. Sure enough, some things are still nature after all. Otherwise it would be hard to explain. After studying with a heroic woman like Tsunade for so long, I will still do things that use my original body in the end. It's okay, I brought instant noodles. Naruto shook the plastic bag in his hand. It's easy to eat, and hygienic. Master Hokage, they are leaving. Over there, also dispatched, Hokage building. An Anbu disappears after a quick report, call. Third generation smoked a cigarette with calm eyes and looked at the crystal ball in front of him. The crystal ball is crystal clear, without any pictures on it. It looks like it's just a decoration, an ornament. Master third generation, see you from class 3. Third generation raised his eyes. The door of the office was opened, and Guy walked in with his 3 students. All 4 of them were covered in mud, apparently they had just finished their mission. It was completed so quickly. I remember that your task is not easy. Third generation smiled kindly. So we worked harder to complete it, third generation master. Guy can't wait to write his blood on his face. Please assign us another task. The third shift, use different breaks. Roar. Xiao Li put on the same passionate look. Neji and Tianxian bowed their heads silently. What to do? I feel so ashamed. That's just a mission, can you two please be normal? Also, who wants to never stop? A day's workload has to be completed in half a day. If it weren't for the 2 people blocking it, Guy can't wait to finish it in an hour. Every time I see you, I feel old again. Third generation smiled and took out a mission scroll. The task will only start tomorrow. In the afternoon, let's take a good rest. Neji and Tianxian cast grateful and admiring gazes. Grandpa third generation is so kind. Yo shrimp, let's continue our youth training this afternoon. Special training. The watermelon headmaster and apprentice continue to be passionate. Tianxian has nothing to love with Neji. After receiving tomorrow's tasks, the third shift is preparing to leave. But at this time, the third generation stopped Guy. Guy, let the children go first, you wait a moment. Guy stopped suddenly. Wait until the third squad with a puzzled face leaves. Third generation took a puff of cigarette and asked casually. Guy, how long has it been since you saw Naruto? Naruto? Guy was a little confused, probably 2 or 3 days. We just met class 7 yesterday. That's right. Third generation continued to smoke. Naruto mentioned you when he left in the morning. But having said that, this child is getting bigger and bigger, and it always makes me feel like I've known him before. But I can't remember who I look like. Guy was dumbfounded, and he was in a fog. Naruto, like, who? A storm started in Guy's mind. He thought of Naruto's dead fish eyes, and his listless face all day. Is it Kakashi? Guy weakly raised his hand. Third generation's actions paused. It's okay Guy, you go first, don't make the children wait too long. Yes, Guy didn't think too much, and left on the spot. Third generation's eyes fell on the crystal ball again, and he swallowed. The crystal ball still does not open. Because it's pointless to peek at someone who knows you'll be peeked at. I hope the old man thinks too much. Third generation looked up and looked at the photo hanging on the wall. Minato's smile is as sunny as ever.